Hi, I'm Liz Wells and welcome to LivWell. I'm so glad that you found us today. Well, I don't even know quite where to start. I certainly can't share all my story today. Other than to say I wrote a book. We'll put the link in the bio. It's about my journey in facing death and going through a life-saving liver transplant. Facing death and having to go through critical illness for quite some months fundamentally changed who I am and certainly changed the way in which I view life. Some months after I'd returned home from spending an awfully long time in hospital, somebody turned round to me and just made the flippant comment, well, you just need to get back to your old life. Just get on with life. Pick it up from where you left off and go again. And I sat and thought about that, but I couldn't. I wasn't who I was before anymore. This whole situation had completely fundamentally changed me. Changed my outlook, changed my views, certainly changed my priorities. I'd been given a gift. I'd looked death in the eye, but I'd been given a second chance at life 2.0. And there was a determination that rose up in me that I wasn't going to live how I'd done in the past. There was, on the surface, nothing wrong with it. I'd always tried to be successful and to raise my children well, and I had a good marriage. But I hadn't completely lived to the calling that I knew that was in me. I knew that I'd been called from a very young age to tell the world about my faith, to tell the world about the hope that I'd been given. And when I faced death, when I was told that I quite probably needed to say goodbye to my husband and to my children, I suddenly realised that life is so fleeting, it's so short, it is so fragile, and there was so much that I hadn't accomplished that I wished I had. I'm not talking about running marathons or climbing mountains. I'm talking about the eternal things. I realised that I was about to step into heaven, and whilst God was there waiting for me with his arms open wide, ready to embrace me and love me, that I was rocking up to the party pretty much empty-handed. Yeah, I'd invested in my children and my marriage, and those were all wonderful, beautiful things. But I hadn't done anything else to advance the kingdom, not really. I thought about the organ that I got given from a family that I didn't know, the sacrifice that they made on that day when they were asked to donate their loved one's organs. That was amazing. They didn't know me. They didn't need to make that sacrifice, and yet they did make that selfless sacrifice. And I'll feel thankful to them for the rest of my life. They've given me another 30, 40 years of life, and without them I would be dead. But likewise, when Jesus died on the cross, there was nothing wrong with him. He completely selflessly sacrificed himself so that his blood could be released to cleanse us all, so that we would all be able to have an eternal life. Eternal life. And it was then that I realised the enormity of eternity, the reality of a realm that I'd heard about. I'd heard people telling stories about, but never really encountered until I faced death myself. And it is with that revelation and that knowledge that I want to embrace my life 2.0 now. I want to share this message of hope, that it doesn't matter how bad things get here, because there is a hope of an eternal life. I've heard it, I've smelt it, I've almost tasted it. I was a step away from entering into the gates of heaven. And over the course of the next few weeks, months, years, I want to unpack that journey with you. That actually staring eternity in the face and this realisation that I had to make my life matter meant that I had to ditch some of the junk from the past. I was still carrying around trauma from my childhood, hurts from the past, still rehearsing hurtful conversations. Rejection haunted me. So, in my recovery, whilst physical recovery needed to happen, there was a massive spiritual recovery that needed to happen in me also. And I want to share that with you. I had to unpack. I've used journaling, talking things over, and I want to share all of these tools that have helped me. I'm not saying everything will help you, but my dream is that everybody can too embrace a second chance, can embrace a life 2.0. Because I tell you, there is a marvellous hope of a future. I very nearly embraced it, but I heard the echoes of eternity. And I want everybody who hears this message to also have the chance of walking in eternity. But the thing is when we make that decision to follow Christ, when we make that decision to take that gift, like I took that liver to save my life for the next 40 years, we can take that blood, which will save our lives for eternity. Once we take that decision to take that blood from Jesus, from his sacrifice, then we begin a whole new journey, a whole new chapter in our life. There will be battles and there will be challenges, yes, but oh my goodness, the enormity of eternity, the enormity of the universe. We have a Father in heaven, a God who loves us, who's interested in us, who wants to hold us when we feel hopeless, who wants to love us when we feel nobody else will. And he's waiting for that opportunity to come into each and every person's life. So, I launched LivWell. LivWell is about life 2.0. Living a brand new life, a brand new faith, a brand new outlook. And I hope you enjoy it. We're going to be, just flooding you with messages, with chats. I hope we're going to get some other people other than me just chatting. But yeah, so send me your feedback. We'll put a couple of links in the bio so that you can have a link to my testimony. You can watch it for free. And if you want to buy the book, then you can do. I think you can download it for free as well. So, it's been great talking to you today. And just remember, there is a hope and there is a future. And his name is Jesus.